many people think that African history in the Americas is erased or lost or impossible to find, and our project proves it isn't. The American Council of Learned Societies Digital Justice Grant has really been one that's allowed us to work with American students from HBCU, historically Black colleges and universities. Received enough to have 3 fellows come to work with us in the Slave Society's Digital Archive. 20 years ago, we started this project, and I've been working with teams in the Americas, in Latin America, and in Africa, and in the Caribbean to try to preserve the oldest history for Africans in the Atlantic world. And we have the largest serial records for Africans in the Americas now. Getting people trained in digital preservation work in very important and usually overlooked records to try to make this work go forward. So I feel like every grant that we receive trains a new group of students who will then be committed to carry the work on after I retire at some point.
Been helping with some of the field collection stuff now. So when we were in Mompox, Colombia a few months ago, I was helping to actually scan and preserve some of the records that are now being processed and will be available on the website. After we have these records processed, I'll be working with the transcription and analysis of some of these records, and been working with some of the geospatial mapping and geographic analysis of some of the records that we have.
Some pages, for example, in ecclesiastical documents are so deteriorated due to the iron content of the ink, due to insect and water damage, that turning the page itself takes 2 people doing it very carefully. We don't want to damage the documents that are already deteriorated to a significant degree. For the moment, what we are most concerned with is triaging the information that these books contain. So being able to produce digital copies that are legible, even if they are not perfect, even if they are not ideal, is far preferable to losing these documents completely.
With the ability to use AI and other automated techniques to process documentary collections like the Slave Society's collection at scale, it immediately gives us access to us as historians, access to an order of magnitude more data than we had previously. Not an order, many orders of magnitude more data than we had previously. We use multimodal models on the same kind of large language models that you're used to interacting with, like ChatGPT or Gemini, for example. Literally just pass an image to these models and it returns to us, like line by line, what the image says, or what it thinks the image says, right? Together, they are more powerful than either one of them in isolation.
The main thing that doesn't necessarily come across when you're just looking at the image on a computer or you're reading a book that's been based on these images is that it's a very people-centered process. We're working with priests and with assistants to the priest, and the church is still active, so we're working in a space that's still being used for worship, and these records are still being used for day-to-day life. People are coming up to the desk and requesting similar images. Like we're looking at baptism records from 1700 and people want the ones from 95 when they got married or when their kid was born. So it's like it's a living process. It's not just this history is something that's in the past.